Hello, brothers and sisters. Once again, welcome to the teachings, and I am the host, Truth Is. Today's teaching will be centered around the Atonement, the Day of Atonement, which is one of the high Sabbath days given to Israel according to the Bible. Not that I believe the Bible, brothers and sisters. I've been delivered from the Bible, but I do understand what the authors are trying to convey. Now, many modern-day Israelites, so-called, they say a particular chapter, which is Isaiah, the 58th chapter, verse 13, is talking about the Sabbath day, the seventh-day Sabbath, the weekly Sabbath. But brothers and sisters, it's not talking about the weekly Sabbath. It's talking about what you call a high Sabbath. And in this Bible, it is 7 high Sabbaths. The first high Sabbath is Passover, which is the first day of unleavened bread. The second high Sabbath is the seventh day of unleavened bread. The third high Sabbath is Pentecost, or what's known as the Feast of Weeks. The fourth high Sabbath is the memorial or blowing of the trumpets. The fifth high Sabbath is the Day of Atonement. The sixth high Sabbath is the first day of the Feast of Tabernacle. And the seventh high Sabbath is the last day of the Feast of Tabernacle. So let's go look at what they misconstrue, what they misinterpret as being the Sabbath day. Isaiah, the 58th chapter, verse 13, and it reads, "If thou turn away thy foot from the Sabbath, from doing thy pleasure on my holy day, and call the Sabbath a delight, the holy of the Lord, honorable, and shall honor him, not doing thy own pleasure, not doing thy own ways, nor finding thy own pleasure, nor speaking thy own words." So they say, this is talking about the 7-day Sabbath. And you can't find your own pleasure or do your own words on the Sabbath, okay? But this is not what this is talking about. I remember, man, about 25 years ago, some brothers put me, 25 years ago, some brothers put me on. They say, "Man, look, brother, let me tell you something." I'm like, "What?" This is not talking about the Sabbath day. It's talking about the Day of Atonement. As soon as they showed it to me, I saw it. Okay, so I took it to the head man in charge, the captain of the ship. Okay, the head pastor, head bishop, whatever you want to call him. And I said, "Man," they said, "this is not talking about the Sabbath." And he told me, "Don't pay no attention to them. They're talking about the Sabbath. At least it's talking about both, the Sabbath and the Day of Atonement." But I didn't listen to him. And that's how I got delivered, brother. So when I saw something that wasn't right, I moved out on it. I didn't listen to somebody. I don't care what kind of rank you had. I was going by truth. And truth is an ever-growing thing, brothers and sisters. Even in your midst of your misunderstanding, if you think you got truth, you got to be true to it, brothers and sisters, okay? So let's show you that this is talking about the Day of Atonement. Let's pick it up at verse 1. And it reads, "Cry aloud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and show my people their transgression, and the house of Jacob their sin." Okay? "Yet they seek me daily, and delight to know my ways, as a nation that did righteousness, and forsook not the ordinance of their God. They ask of me the ordinances of justice. They take delight in approaching to God." So you had these people, according to this Bible, in the days of old, a lot of Israelites say they about serving God, but they serving God with their lips, okay, and not serving him with their action. Okay, this is what this is about. 3, "Wherefore have we fasted, say they, and thou seest not." In other words, these Israelites who serving God, okay, but not according to works, say, "Why are we fasting when you don't even see us fasting? What we doing this for?" Okay? "Wherefore have we afflicted our soul?" Afflict mean to fast, another word for fast. "And thou takest no knowledge. Behold, in the day of your fast ye find pleasure, and exact all your labor." See, So according to this, in the day of these Israelite fasts, they find their own pleasure. They exact their own labors when they aren't supposed to be doing these things. 4. Behold, ye fast for strife and debate, and to smite with the fist of wickedness. Ye shall not fast as ye do this day, to make your voice to be heard on high. Everybody want to be heard, but internally, brothers, people are rotten. People are hypocrites. People got deep, dark secrets, okay, but they say serving God, okay? This is what this is talking about. 5. Is it such a fast that I have chosen? A day for a man to afflict his soul? Is it to bow down his head as a bulrush and to spread sackcloth and ashes under him? Will thou call this a fast, an acceptable day to the Lord? Will you call this a fast? Do you think I'm going to accept this? This is what this is all about, okay? Is not this the fast that I have chosen? To loose the bands of wickedness, to undo the heavy burden, and to let the oppressed go free, and that you break every yoke. So this is when Israel, according to the Bible, was a nation, okay? And then, like all nations, or most nations, they oppress people, brothers and sisters, okay? But this God wants the oppressed to be set free, okay? He wants every yoke to be broken, okay? Verse 7. Is it not to deal thy bread to the hungry, and that thou bring the poor that are cast out to thy house? When thou seest the naked, that thou cover him, and that thou hide not thyself from thy own flesh? Then shall thy light break forth as the morning, and thy health shall spring forth speedily, and thy righteousness shall go before thee. The glory of the Lord shall be thy reward. Then shall thou call, and the Lord shall answer. Thou shalt cry, and he shall say, Here I am. If thou take away from the midst of thee the yoke, the putting forth of the finger, and speaking vanity, and if thou draw out thy soul to the hungry, and satisfy the afflicted soul, then shall thy light rise in obscurity, and thy darkness as the noonday. And the Lord shall guide thee continually, and satisfy thy soul in drought, and make fat thy bones, and thou shalt be like a watered garden, and like a spring of water, thy waters shall fail not. And they that shall be of thee shall build the old waste places. Thou shalt rise up the foundations of many generations, and thou shalt be called the repairer of the breach, the restorer of paths to dwell in. 13. If thou turn away thy foot from the Sabbath, what Sabbath? Now we know we're talking about this Day of Atonement, from doing thy pleasures on my holy day, the Day of Atonement, and call the Sabbath a delight, the holy of the Lord honorable, and shall not honor him, and shall honor him, rather, not doing thy own ways, nor finding thy own pleasures, nor speaking thy own words. If you have a fast that's honorable, where you dealing with the poor and needy, you letting the oppressed go free, you're not doing your own words of pleasure, but you're doing everything that your God say do, this is the holy day that he wants. This is the fast that he wants, okay? 14, then shalt thou delight thyself in the Lord. Then shalt thou delight thyself in the Lord, and I will cause thee to ride upon the high places of the earth, and feed thee with the heritage of Jacob thy father, for the mouth of the Lord hath spoken it. So now you know, this is not talking about the Sabbath day, the weekly Sabbath, talking about a high Sabbath, the Day of Atonement, talking about a fast. What you gonna do? You gonna continue to listen to your leaders who got this thing all wrong, or you gonna strive for the truth? And if you keep on striving for the truth and sincerity, you will grow. Your truth will become new. And one thing about it, like I say all the time, if you do wrong right, long enough, you can be delivered. So I thank you for listening, And until the next time, peace, love, later.